Welcome to Duo Chat with Brittany
and Cynthia, where we talk about drama shows
like Dawson's Creek, One Tree Hill, and more.
Hi everyone, I'm Brittany.
And I'm Cynthia.
And today we're talking about Season 5, Episode 3, title My Way Home is Through You, air date January 15th, 2008, and the synopsis is:
Haley tries to encourage Quentin to come back to school. Nathan visits Dan in prison without Lucas being aware. Brooke is edgy after her manager Victoria tracks her down Tree Hill. Peyton finds new talent for her record label. And Lucas lets Peyton be the manager of Tric. That doesn't make sense either. And Lindsay is worried after meeting Brooke and Peyton. Yeah, so I'm not sure how they rate these synopsises or whatever the plural of that is, but yeah.
Yeah, because Peyton is definitely not the manager.
Right. Yeah, I didn't catch that before. Yeah, it seems like Tric isn't even open right now, but yeah.
Yeah, I think it's only open whenever they feel like it.
Mm-hmm. Pretty much.
It's not like every day or every weekend occurrence.
Mm-hmm.
It's probably whenever they can find somebody to perform, really.
Yeah.
It's not like they have a DJ though.
Mm-mm.
Okay, this was weird how it opened.
Because it's just recapping everything that we already know the last three episodes.
It's like 3 minutes of like Lucas just narrating everybody what's going on. I'm like, you only had 2 episodes again.
Mm-hmm.
And last episode you narrated what everybody was doing. Was this going to be an every day or every episode occurrence?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I'm like, I can't. I literally just hit fast forward because I'm like, I can't watch this again.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's not even like they did too much, like that we need all this information. Like they're still getting comfortable in season 5 still of explaining where everybody's at. So it was just weird.
Yeah. So then Lindsay wakes up to find Lucas not in bed, but instead at his desk writing.
This
so he was there
funny.
all night. Yeah.
I only thought it was funny, of course, because I'm a Lucas and Peyton fan. And he was all finished with his writing because did you see he almost slipped it?
Mm-hmm.
It was like he couldn't like really think of anything that made him start writing again, which was, of course, Peyton, but he can't say that.
Yeah, so he says his last book. Yep.
But she obviously knows because think of if it was your last book, wouldn't you have already been done? Didn't she say it's been 2 years?
Mm-hmm.
So if it was like from that, it would have been done already.
Right.
I'm surprised she didn't say that to him.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so he was writing all night, didn't even realize until she mentioned it, and he has practice in 8 minutes, 8 minutes with the team. So he has to take off already. And then Nathan is taking steps in his room, and he calls out for Haley to come see him, but then Carrie walks in and says she's at work.
Then he just sits right down. Why is he so, like, he looks like he's upset, like, hello, his wife has to go to work, someone has to make money in that house.
Yeah, he just probably didn't realize what time it was, so he was just disappointed that Haley was already gone for work.
Let's see here. She has a kid, and she works. She ain't got time for you.
Yeah, it was just like a big deal for him. That's why he was upset that she wasn't there. So I get it.
I don't. She's at work.
Yeah, it was just the moment he wanted to share with her. That's all.
Like she wouldn't have to work if you would have not gotten a fight. And you would have actually made it on a team, then she wouldn't have had to.
Right. But at least he's trying now. Before he wasn't even attempting to.
That's because she gave him the ultimatum. You're out the door. So, okay, if he really bought this money, right? Like if he really used this money, I still don't know how, to buy the house, don't you think he would keep the house? Like, yeah, because she gave him the ultimatum, right? Let's say he didn't follow through with it. Don't you think that he could have? Because it was his money that paid for it.
Right.
Like he wouldn't be on his ass. She would. But also, I don't think that would really work though, because if she signed her name to it, it's hers too.
Did she?
Well, I'm sure she did when they bought the house. I'm sure the title is probably in both of their names.
Yeah. Just wondering if it was just him or not.
Well, that's why I'm like wondering, like, because if it was just him,
I
then
mean, maybe
he could
now
have.
because she's the only one working, probably. So yeah, at
But
least both of them.
I'm sure because they're married that they put it in both of their names.
Mm-hmm.
Because you really, I'm sure when like think about it, like when you get married, you don't really think, oh, I'm going to get divorced.
Right.
So I'm sure they bought it, put it in both of their names. It's just, but now
Mm-hmm.
looking back, it's like, man,
Yeah.
because who's working and who's not?
Mm-hmm. And then, yeah. So this is the first time he actually meets Carrie now.
Yeah, that was weird because she's like, I'm the new nanny. I didn't
Mm-hmm.
know there was a nanny before her.
Yeah, I think she was just saying like just new there, I guess. Yeah. So, and then she was like being nice, I guess, saying she's making breakfast. So Jamie's not in school right now, even though you think he would be starting preschool. No, he isn't. Is he in school?
No. Oh, yeah. Wait, yeah. Because she said I have to go pick him up.
Yeah, okay. I couldn't
Yeah.
remember. Okay, it was like the end of summer. Okay, yeah, then he started school. It should be preschool, yeah. So,
I have a question.
yeah, so if she's gonna make breakfast, like, isn't Jamie gone already? So why would she need to make breakfast?
Well, I have another question.
Yeah.
What does the nanny do all day then if he's in school?
Well, yeah, so I'm saying like there's no need to make breakfast if the kid isn't there, because
Oh, what does she do?
well, she shouldn't even be there. Like, because if Haley wants someone to be there with Nathan, then she would hire or get a nurse to be
nurse.
there. Yeah. So this was the first mistake here, like her being at the house when Jamie's not even there, where she's not needed. So
Yeah.
that's weird. Unless Haley didn't know, like maybe Carrie's like, "Oh, I'll leave, after you leave or something like that." But then she stayed. Maybe that could be
Well, I'm
something she
confused
did.
too because, like, if Haley always takes Jamie, right? Because she's
Mm-hmm.
Ben, why can't she still take him in the morning and then Carrie picks him up after school? Because he probably goes probably half a day or something.
Mm-hmm.
So if that's the case that he goes like half a day, so he has to be watched, half of a day every day. Well, why
Mm-hmm.
can't she start at that time?
Yeah, that's what I'm
When
confused
when
about here.
why would she start at 7 a.m. when Haley is at home? She can't make him breakfast as she has always done, and she can't get him ready for school as she's always done. Like, I get you need somebody to watch him after school because Nathan can't. I get that part, but I don't get why when he's at school, why she is has to be there. Like her time should start when she has to go get him,
Right. Yep.
not in the morning. Like I don't understand why Haley can't get the kid ready. She always gets him ready.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so I have no idea. This
I
is
thought
yeah.
I thought they just needed somebody to watch him after.
Yeah, like I said, maybe she acted like she was gonna leave and then just didn't and just stayed to be there with there with Nathan.
Because I mean, think about it. It's kind of been like Lucas and Brooke now, like watching Jamie. So it's just kind of like, and like skills and stuff. But it's just like, why isn't I don't know. It's just weird that she would be there all morning by herself.
Yeah.
Like again, I guess I just don't trust people.
Mm-hmm.
Like complete strangers to just be in your house for hours alone
Right.
and knowing your husband is home.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just saying.
Right.
It is weird, but I just wonder what she does all day. Like, what is Haley paying her for?
It should be to watch Jamie, but yeah, this is all unnecessary to be there when he's not.
Right. So I'd be like, go home and then you can come back when he needs to be picked up.
Mm-hmm.
And then that's when your time starts. So I mean, is she supposed to be doing like household chores?
Maybe, but I don't know. It doesn't seem like there's much to do.
Right. So that's what is throwing me off of like if the nanny is supposed to be watching the kid, well, if he's supposedly in school or something, then what is the nanny doing? Because they don't have a baby that you got to be home all day to take care of.
Right.
So, yeah, it doesn't make any sense. Because I do know he is in school because the future episode where she visits him at school
Mm-hmm.
in this season. So he is in school.
Right.
And she does say she has to go get him. She doesn't say, I have to go get him from Brooke. She just
Mhm.
says, I have to go get him.
Right.
Which now doesn't make any sense, though, Cynthia. Last episode, Brooke watched him. And remember, he was eating cereal.
Mm-hmm.
Why would Haley drop him off in the morning to eat cereal, waiting for Brooke when he's supposed to be in school? Because she had to go to work that day. So, because we're also mid-season of a school year. So it's not like it's the beginning of the school year where she has to go in and prep her classroom and do all of that.
Well, he probably just didn't start when she started. Maybe it was a little bit later.
But he hung out with Brooke all day.
Yeah, so I'm saying like he didn't start school yet until a little bit later.
How? I'm saying it's like December
Oh
of
yeah,
the
I
school
keep
year.
forgetting. Maybe it was a winter break. I don't know. Long weekend. I have no idea.
Monday, the little kids just didn't go to school.
Maybe because like preschool sometimes it's like only certain days of the week. It's not like all 5 days. So
Yeah, it just because now that doesn't really make sense. If he goes to school, why would Brooke be watching him if Haley was at work? Because it's not like Brooke was picking him up from school, because that would make sense. He was already there. And think about it too. If Haley had to leave work, go get Jamie, then take him to Brooke's, wouldn't she be mad that Brooke was oversleeping?
well, it seemed like it was right before work, but yeah.
Well, that's what I'm saying. That would have made more sense of like why Haley dropped him off was because, she picked him up from school because Brooke didn't.
Yeah, because they said 8:30 twice. I believe it's 8:30 in the morning. So she probably dropped him off almost, before 8, probably.
Yeah. And then she gave him a cereal.
Yeah.
I don't know. It was just kind of odd too. I'm like, that doesn't make sense then. Like, why wouldn't he be in school?
Right. Yeah. It's just, the show logic we have to chalk it up to sometimes.
Yeah, it just don't make sense. And I don't like Nanny Carey.
Yeah, but it was something when Nathan was kind of like rude to Carrie because she was introducing herself to him, but then he's like, I already know. Like, you don't have to tell me.
Yeah, he's like, Haley told me. I'm like, well, I'm not gonna lie though. I like that he was being rude.
Yeah, even though it doesn't really work on her, but yeah.
I like that she's being like, think about it, if that's your husband, you kind of want him to be a jackass because you don't want him to be all sweet because look what happens when he is later on. It's like that comes to trouble. So no, I would rather my husband be a jerk to you if you're the nanny because I don't want you messing with him. And then him being turned on because that's what's going to happen.
Yeah.
So no, I'm actually happy. Like, do I want him to be mean to Peyton when he was the last up? No, I don't. Or to Jamie or Lucas or anyone. No, but to Nanny Carey, yes, I'm okay with him being a jerk. She deserves it.
Yeah, especially for what we know what's gonna happen later. Yep.
Well, that's why it's hard to like watch it as her being nice because it's like literally when she walked into his bedroom of all places, I was like, here comes trouble.
Yeah, I mean, she only went there because he called Haley, so she wasn't just gonna like let him keep calling Haley and not say anything.
I would expect my nanny to. I don't need you in our bedroom.
Well, at least today, Haley probably would have like texted Nathan like I'm leaving to work or something like that. At least.
Well, shouldn't he already know? Let's see. When he woke up today, she probably wasn't there.
Right.
Obvious reasons, huh? She goes to work.
Yeah. So then, Peyton calls Brooke, and she wants Brooke to guess where she is, or yeah, no. Who am I talking about?
Oh, it might have been Brooke.
Sometimes I get names mixed up.
Because Brooke wasn't opening her own store.
Right. Yeah. So. Yeah, so she wants Payne to guess where she is. Yeah, so Brooke answers that she's feeling warm and fuzzy in her new office, even though the construction workers are working really slowly.
How
For her.
I think they're moving, but they're actually moving fast in real life. Because who yesterday signs a lease and then already has all this stuff done?
Yeah.
Think about it. You have to meet with contractors. You have to get designs. You have to order parts and all. Like, you can't just go in the next day and remodel and remodel to this degree. Like, it's moving pretty fast. But I know because we have to have the opening.
Yeah, and then yeah, Brooke says it is, good to do something on her own. And then she's startled by the noise behind her, and then she tells Payne she can't wait to see Victoria's face when she sees the place. And that's when Victoria is calling Brooke. And Brooke's, like, speak of the devil. And then, Payne's like, well, at least you're already in hell. And then that's when Brooke switches over to the call with Victoria. And, she was like, I was just about to call you. And Victoria, knows that she wasn't. And then, she's wondering why she didn't get Brooke's flight schedule. And Brooke says, she decided to stay in Tree Hill for a few days because they're opening a new store there.
She was funny. She's like, I didn't approve a Tree Hill location. She goes, that doesn't even make sense.
Right.
And I get it because it's like a small town. Like, you'd probably want a bigger, like, city if you're opening up a store, obviously.
Right. But I think, with Brooks being, her hometown, that's an advantage at least. So it's not like it's some other small town.
But I can also see why she'd want to be there, even if it's not a success. Like, it's your hometown. It's your home. It's where you came from.
Yeah.
So it makes sense why she'd want to be there.
Yeah. Yeah, but Victoria goes off on Brooke saying she's, jeopardizing the company. She's the face of the brand. And her absence can do harm if she's not back in the, main office. And then that's when Brooke sees that old quote that was up in Karen's cafe. Now, do we even see this quote at all?
Not too often we didn't.
Because I don't remember seeing it once.
I feel like we saw it way more. I think it was like season 1 we saw it, but it was like we obviously saw it way more when it became Close Over Bros.
Because like I don't remember anybody like pointing it out and like reading it or some like anything. Like it might have been like in a background shot, but that's all it could be really.
I think Karen may have said it once. Maybe.
Okay. Yeah.
But
I just remember.
It might have been like season 1 because otherwise, I don't know. But I just know like everyone like is obsessed over the sign. And it wasn't like a redirect every episode, like,
Right.
like telling us like this is so important. Like it really wasn't.
Right. Yeah, so Victoria's still talking to Brooke, but Brooke gets lost in the quote. She just says, because Victoria's like, what's gotten into you? And Brooke just says home. And Victoria, asks Brooke if she's doing drugs. It's okay. They can spin it in a good way. But then Brooke tells her she has to go.
But I am glad that Brooke is keeping something of Karen's cafe. Because, that's how it all started in the first place.
Right. Yeah. So then, Brooke tells one of the men that she's going to keep that. So don't throw it away. Because it was like the whole piece of the wall that they just ripped out. And of course, they didn't mess up the quote because, TV logic knew that. But
yeah, she's lucky they didn't tear it apart.
Yeah. So it just says, somebody told me that this is the place where everything's better and everything's safe. So and then when we think about in a future episode, that place is actually not safe for Brooke and doesn't, isn't for, a minute after that. But up until that part, it is. And then back at Nathan and Haley's, Nathan walks into the kitchen now, and Carrie is shocked that he made it down the stairs. And he mentioned it was more like falling than walking. What do you think if he was falling, that he would be hurt and she would be concerned? But
well, you think she'd hear him if he fell down the stairs?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Also, when she said, "I told you I'd bring you some breakfast," I'm sure you would.
Right. Yeah.
Like, it was just so mad. I'm like, I'm sure you would, Carrie.
Yeah.
And then he said, "What is it?" And then, of course, she rearranged into a smiley face.
Yeah, and again, Jamie's not there, so why would she even do that? That's weird.
I could see if she was like, sorry, like I just got into a habit I don't know. But then it'd be her first day with Jamie, so it really wouldn't be a habit yet. But I mean, I could see it, like if you were constantly doing it for like little kids, like making it all happy. But I don't know. It's just it is kind of weird. But I don't really think there was a way of twisting it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, she just said that she was an optimist. So yeah,
I don't think she is.
Mm-hmm.
And then he says, I need you to give me a ride somewhere. I don't think that's, and then he said, do nannies do that? And she said, sure. I don't think they do that.
No, that'd be like a chauffeur. Yeah.
It's probably extra.
Mm-hmm.
But she loves Nathan, so why not?
Yeah, and she says she doesn't need to pick up Jamie until a few hours.
So that's why I'm thinking that he gives like half a day.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's why Haley can't get him after school, because she's still working.
Right. Yeah, so then Carrie even goes to get Nathan's crutches from back upstairs, and she's like, no more falling.
Also, don't you think once Nathan starts to, be able to walk, don't you think that there needs to be no more nanny?
At least during this time of the day, yeah.
Like, no, but like, if Nathan...
Oh, yeah, because, I mean, he should, unless he's going to start working, doing something himself, yeah.
But you know what I mean? Because like, because we obviously see it in the future of like Nathan walking and like if he's doing that, why isn't he watching his son? Like, I don't understand.
Yeah, I don't know.
Like, my husband is perfectly fine of taking care. He's left alone with him how long? Like, in the future? Like, he can't watch him? I don't understand this at all. Like, why? I get when he was not mobile, but even still, there are people that take care of kids, their own kids, and they're in wheelchairs. So I don't even give that. That's not even...
Right.
Now that I'm thinking about it, that's not even acceptable to say. For like Nathan. Like, that's not even an excuse.
Right.
You were just lazy. Remember? Because that's what he would call his mother.
Right.
But yes. But when he's walking more, why can't he watch his own kid?
Right.
Would that save them money? Also, after this whole nanny thing, and then they go get in, why can't I still understand? I will never not know why he can't watch his own son.
Right.
It's only one kid. And he's yours. You made him.
Right. So then at the Ravens practice, Haley walks in to ask Lucas if he has a second, and he says depends if she's going to be one of those teachers who constantly complains about his players' grades. And she says, speaking of, one of his players, is failing. If they are, that, she will be on his ass if, that happens. And then Lucas is fair enough, and grades are the least of his team's worries anyways. And, just then someone misses another basket and Skills is really over it. And then Lucas asks Haley if Conan is still disrupting her class, and she says no. He acts, hasn't been in class at all. And she thinks it's because he got kicked off the team.
Well, then he says you can't save them all, Hales.
Right.
And then it was funny because she's like, I think your team looks really good. And he's like, that's JV. And it's like, oh.
Right. Yeah. His is the other team. Yep.
Yeah, it's funny.
Yeah.
But it was just funny because you're like, oh.
And then Lucas, asks Haley how's his little brother doing.
Yeah. He's a work in progress.
Yeah. Just like about his team. Yep. And then Mouth goes up to Alice at work and says that he found his demo CD in the trash.
That was rude.
Yeah, so Alice tells him that he should have left it there. So she just, keep getting worse and worse there. And, Mouth says maybe he's not right for the job, but, his audition demo doesn't belong in the trash. He worked really hard on it. And, Alice acts like,
Yeah, I didn't like it. She said that was a mistake. I'm sorry. I meant to put it in the recycling bin.
Right. And she does that too. Yeah.
Oh my God. I can't with her.
And then for some reason, Skills decides to visit Mouth for lunch.
Yes.
And it's like first day. Because,
is it his first day?
Or maybe second day. I don't know. But, he's still new. But, yeah, you don't really usually hear people meeting their friends at work for lunch. especially if they don't work there at least, too. You know what
Well,
I
I
mean?
mean, you can go out, but like,
Yeah, but not in. Yeah, not be there. Yeah.
yeah, you're not going to
I
be
mean,
eating with them.
yeah, I mean, he could have been picking mouth up, but he acted like that he was there to hang for a while.
Yeah, no, you wouldn't do it at work, but you'd go in the parking lot or
Mm-hmm.
outside or something.
Yeah, but he's just walking in like he works there too or something. Yeah, so that's when Alice says, having friends at work means half a strike. So, and Mouthhouse goes, thanks for the perfect timing. And then this is when Nathan goes to visit Dan in prison
Oh my God.
after 4 years and some time.
So, yeah, so Dan says 4 years, 15 weeks and 2 days.
Yep, so he's keeping track, yep. Because he says counting the days is a popular hobby around there.
I mean, I get it. You don't have anything else to do.
Yeah. And then he wants to know more about Nathan's accident, what happened. So I wonder how he probably found it probably in the newspaper, I'm guessing, if nobody told him directly, probably.
Yeah. So this whole interaction between Nathan and Dan, I did not understand why Nathan was there because he's sitting there blaming Dan. Why he's there in the first place is in his injury. And before Dan said it, I was thinking that same thing. What does this have to do with Dan? And Dan even said, like when Nathan was leaving, when he said, I didn't put you in the chair. You did. Like,
right. He was in prison already.
Yeah, he's like, me at making you play basketball had nothing to do with that. I was like, exactly. That was my whole thing. Was like, why are you blaming Dan? Did he tell you to fight? Because he says, well, you told me to play basketball. Okay, he told you to play basketball. He never said, go and fight this guy where you're going to end up in a wheelchair. Like, no. And so he never once said that because he was in prison, first of all. Secondly, yeah, he told you and taught you how to play basketball. Basketball has nothing to do with your fight that you had.
Right.
You didn't get an injury from basketball that put you there.
Yeah.
So, so I was so confused why he was there in the first place. I'm like, I guess it was so we can all see Dan again.
Yeah.
But it made no sense because the whole time he's going off on Dan, I did not understand because I was in agreement with him. And I was so happy that Dan said it because I was thinking it. And then, he made it worse by saying that's the reason why Jamie doesn't get to, like, that's why I won't let him play basketball. And Dan's like, that just makes it worse. Like, like I forced you, you say I forced you to play. Well, you're not letting him. Like, that's the same thing. I'm like, it is.
Yeah.
Like, you can't force somebody who doesn't want to do it. But you also shouldn't let them or tell them not to do it when it's a dream of theirs. So I agree. It's like the same thing.
Right.
Oh,
yeah.
But how did you like it though when Dan was like all being nice? So how's my grandson? And Nathan's just like, I ain't here for like, it's like, I don't know, just like the tone he was having was like, he doesn't really like Jamie. Didn't it to you? It wasn't, I don't know, it was Nathan's tone. I was like,
yeah, well, going back a second before I forget, yeah, it's not like Dan got Nathan to boxing or something, and that's how he ended up in the chair because he was, always ready to fight. Or they could have had Dan be writing probably have been writing Nathan letters every day and sending it to him, mailing it to him, and maybe Nathan got fed up with the letters, and just went there in person and tell him to quit it, something like that. Give him a legit reason to go there to talk to Dan, not just, make up a reason to.
yeah,
So.
but then it didn't even make sense because he hasn't even seen him in 4 years.
Mm-hmm.
So none of that even makes any sense.
Yeah, so I'm saying they should have had him do something else, with the letters or something.
Also, can I just say something? This season, they have Jamie's birthday. If it's only been 4 years and 15 weeks since Dan has been in prison, what are we celebrating?
What do you mean?
Jamie doesn't turn 5. Like, if he just turned at like 16 weeks. Remember, he went to prison basically the time that Jamie was born.
Same day, yeah.
So if it's been 15 weeks, you know, since he's been in prison, like as in 4 years, 15 weeks, that's as old as Jamie. Why are we having a birthday party in a couple episodes? That's my point. Is it's like we're not celebrating when he turned 4 because that was 15 weeks ago. We're not celebrating when he's 5 because that's how many weeks left. Like,
Well, I thought he only had one birthday in the series, and that was in season 7.
No.
Did he have 2 birthday parties? I don't remember.
Yeah, we're about to have another one.
Because I remember the other ones when Quinn comes in. I just don't remember one before that.
Yeah, the next one that comes in is like Jamie's birthday, and it's when Skills wasn't watching him. Because he was all worried that Nathan Haley won't ever let him hang out with him again.
Oh, I thought that was wasn't that Lucas's and Lindsay's wedding where he went missing?
Yeah.
I don't remember it being a birthday though.
No, after the whole kidnapping, then he has a birthday.
Okay, well, we'll have to see when we get there because I don't remember anything about this birthday party.
Yeah. And yeah, so he has a birthday, and that's when but I just don't understand, like, why are we having a birthday party? Like, the kid is not turning 5 yet. Again, if right here is 4 years and 15 weeks, he just turned 4 then.
Wasn't the first episode supposed to be the same amount of time? Wasn't it like 4 years and 6 months or something? That's why we said it's like December.
Yeah, 4. Yeah, so 4 years, 6 months, and like 4 days or something.
Yeah, so why do we go back already a couple months or so, or a month and a half, according to Dan? That's weird.
Yeah, because 6 months would be how many
November,
weeks?
like November-ish. Yeah, that's what we said before.
Well, because 6 months would be how many weeks? Around what? Because it's half of a year, so 25 around.
Yeah, I just with the 15 weeks, that would be 4, 8, 12, like almost 4 months. So
Yeah, that would be stupid.
Yeah, 4
Like,
years, 6 months, 2 days. Yeah, so I don't know why they went a little bit back.
right,
Maybe
because he went to prison before they even had their celebration, graduate, or before they were
had the party.
done. Yeah, before they had the party where they were like, we're never gonna see each other, like, or we're gonna see each other in 4 years. It's like before they even had that, he was already there.
Yeah, I don't know.
So yeah, that doesn't even make sense. It must have been 2 writers, one for the first one, and then a different one for this one.
Yeah, or either that or Dan's just not good at his counting.
Well, he has not that. He just slept for 10 days, so he forgot to mark them.
Maybe, who knows? And then, yeah, so about Jamie, he asks about Jamie, like how he's doing and everything. Yeah, because he hasn't had any, contact with Nathan or anybody. The only person who actually saw him in prison we know of is Karen, and that was just that one time. And that wasn't even the last. It wasn't even this time. It was the time when he was. Oh no, it was yeah, it was after he turned himself in. I forgot. It was after she recovered. That's right. Yeah, a couple weeks later. Yep. Okay. Yeah.
But
so yeah, Karen was his only visitor.
That's why it doesn't make any sense that like, I don't know, this is why I just didn't like Nathan's tone when he said, I'm not here to talk about Jamie. Because it's like, I don't know, it just how he said it. It wasn't like he really cared for him. I don't know, because it could just be, obviously his attitude for the past 4 months, but it was just annoying. I didn't like it because Dan is truly actually caring, and Nathan is just like, meh.
Right. And then Nathan tells Dan that Jamie had found a picture of him before, and he told Jamie that his grandfather was dead. So, do you think that's better than the truth of that he was alive and in prison for killing his own brother, his great uncle?
No, because Jamie's gonna find out the truth.
Mm-hmm.
And he's gonna love his grandpa.
Yeah. I mean, Nathan possibly could have told him that too, because he probably thought Dan was going to be in prison for the rest of his life. I don't remember how he got in the first place, but yeah.
I don't know.
So,
He could just have said he's away.
lives in another state or something.
Lives out of the country.
Hmm. Like Karen.
Yeah, it's like, he doesn't visit.
Hmm.
Just something, because then let Jamie figure it out for himself of like if he wants to know Dan for what he did.
Right.
Give him that choice, but don't just say he's dead, because when he finds out, it's gonna be like,
Yeah. I mean, yeah, it is better to know the truth, so the kid
Well,
doesn't.
but think about how hard that was. He probably didn't even know what death was when you told him.
Right.
And then when you said he saw a picture of you, he said you died. Like, but for a little kid, that'd be like traumatizing, wouldn't it? Like, I don't know. Like, he doesn't even really know what death is.
Well, I mean, I did when I was by that age, but I don't know, it's just me.
Well, we don't even know when he found a picture of Dan.
Yeah, it had been recently.
2, 3?
Yeah, I feel like it would probably been like the last year or so. Yeah, that he would be aware to even ask, like, who's this, whatever. Because I can't imagine a 3-year-old being like, who's this? Like, they would just like stare at it and wouldn't even think to ask, maybe. But yeah.
Well, I really don't really expect 4-year-olds too much either. But
some 4-year-olds are really smart like that.
Yeah, but I was just like, that's kind of rude though. Like, to tell a little kid that may not know how to process it of like what death is, and then just he died. Like, okay.
I mean, sometimes you have no choice. If somebody does pass away, you kind of have to tell a kid. So,
Well, yeah, but I'm just saying to like lie about it. Like,
right, yeah.
But maybe it could have been recently when Jamie was, or when Nathan was in the state that he was in, because remember, Jamie didn't really have too many interactions with Nathan. He could have found the picture, said, "Who is this, Nathan? He's dead." Like, rude, like he is. And then Jamie getting scared and just not saying anything. Like, it could have been maybe that.
Yeah, probably.
But because I feel like otherwise Jamie would ask questions. Like, how? Like, and just more about it, where I think if it was like recently when Nathan said it, I could see his jack butt of a self being rude to Jamie like that, and Jamie just being fearful to ask any more questions, so he just doesn't.
Yeah,
I could see that.
Yeah, because I also had a grandfather. He didn't kill anyone, but he was very horrible to my grandmother, and my mom told me the truth about him, so I knew who he was, which was better than anything. Because then that's how we know that's why Jamie got so close to Dan later on, because he didn't know any better. So,
well, I mean, Lucas did tell him. I remember their like little interaction of like, he took him, because remember when Jamie's like, why does everyone hate him? And it
wasn't that already when he kind of bonded with him though?
Yeah, but that's why Jamie was just like, you guys all hate him, but it's like, yeah, because he took someone special away.
Yeah.
Jamie, I think it was a good thing that the show made Jamie and Dan have a relationship, because I think that was part of Dan's redemption, is he changed, and he wasn't trying to make Jamie Nathan.
Yeah.
He just loved Jamie for Jamie. And we needed to see that, because if he would have just come back out of prison like he was, there was, we would have hated him even more.
Right.
But because he loved Jamie, that was part of the redemption, I think.
Yeah. So then we see Lucas walk into his office, and Haley's already there at his desk because she doesn't want to go to the teacher's lounge, because basically most of their teachers are still at the school and they're basically acting like her teacher still, she says.
Well, yeah, it's only been 4 years.
Yeah. And then that's when Haley mentions that she heard that he rented out his office space at Tric to Peyton. And is Lindsay okay with that? And, Lucas says, yeah, why not? And Haley says, maybe because Payne's, not just another girlfriend or ex-girlfriend. And everybody knows that. And, Haley or Lucas tells Haley that, he's just helping out an old friend. Besides, Lindsay isn't the jealous type. And Haley says that's a good answer because she's having lunch with her soon.
Oh, by the way, I worked with someone who was almost my 3rd grade teacher. And it was fun. Like, she didn't treat me like I was a student.
Mm-hmm.
Like, we were on the same page.
Right.
Well, I'm just saying. Like,
yeah. Mm-hmm.
Like, unlike Haley, like, she must have had some different teachers that were like, I ain't telling you nothing. Like, you're just a kid.
Yeah. And then, so Lucas realizes that Haley was just trying to ask him to get information to get back to Lindsay with, about the whole situation. And, Haley says it's because he's a guy and guys are so predictable. That's why it was so easy to kind of trick him like that.
Yeah. And then it turns to, who was it? Skills?
Yeah. Saying the opposite, that girls.
Yeah. Girls are so predictable.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And then they're talking about, Mouth was saying, Mouth was like, she hates me and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And then Skill said, that's called sexual tension.
Mm-hmm.
No.
Yeah, because she's mean to him, right? No.
Yeah, no, I think she just don't like him.
Mm-hmm. And Skills even calls her a cougar. So do you think that was foreshadowing his relationship with Deb later on?
I don't know.
Or just something that the writers wrote probably at this time? Because does that even happen this season or next season?
Next season.
Okay, yeah. So probably just a line he threw out. But yeah, so Mouth or Skills gives Mouth probably in real life, this would definitely be the worst advice to give a friend like this in this situation, definitely.
Yeah, to basically go after her.
Mm-hmm.
That could get you, I don't know, fired, arrested.
Right. But and then they're still young, even though we've known them for a while and they've been out in the world for a while, they're still kind of, they're in their early 20s, so they're still learning the workplace because most of them at least, finished school. I think the only one who hasn't been in school, I think, was Peyton, and I think Brooke at least for the last couple years or so. Like everybody else is kind of doing like the whole 4 years, but not them. It seems like at least that we know of.
I don't think Nathan really finished. Well, Nathan never finished his degree.
Yeah. Right. I didn't do anything. Yeah. Yeah. I'm just talking about like everybody else that's like starting to work right now. Like they're the only ones that are like brand new to it. At least, typical office jobs,
Yeah. Well, apparently though, Skills had a professor that did this, and he said he planted one on her.
Right.
Okay.
That's not kind of like an old saying. You never hear anybody saying that now. I mean, this was still a while back too, but yeah.
Yeah, I was like, okay, gross. And then that's when Mouth's like, not really wanting to take his advice.
Which he should have kept going, but apparently changed his mind later.
I thought it was funny though when Mouth was like, oh, and by the way, don't yell out early lunch Thursday.
Mm-hmm.
It was just funny.
Right. And then Lindsay mentions to Haley when they're, out to lunch, if she remembered the first time she invited her to lunch there. And, Haley said that she knew she wanted to know if, Lindsay was good enough for her best friend, checking her out. And Lindsay said that Haley even asked to bring her a photocopy of her driver's license. So to do a background check, I guess, probably.
Yeah, that's weird.
Yeah. I mean, that's something, you would, again, like you don't really suspect women having something on their background checks, but yeah.
Yeah,
and
but she was his editor way before they dated.
Yeah, so you think if anything, Lucas or whoever,
would already know who
you
she
know,
is.
yeah, made the connection with Lindsay, like his agent, if he had an agent, I don't know, somebody from
Right.
publishing.
It's just odd that it's like,
Mhm.
it's not like she's a stranger, like, oh, I don't know, Nanny Carey, but
Mm-hmm.
so you're gonna wait a minute. So you're gonna do a background check on Lindsay, who he knew because she was the editor, but
Yep.
you're not gonna do a background check on your nanny who is with your husband right now and
Mhm.
and taking care of your little 4-year-old. I
Yeah, that's
make
mhm.
that make sense.
Yeah, I think maybe this was a different writer from the other episode that we met Carrie in that wrote this one here with
But
Lindsay and Haley.
but how can you make that make sense? Because I can't.
Yeah, I don't know. She could have said like, remember when you, I don't even know, like made me like or ask me questions. No, I don't even know. I don't know. Ask questions. I don't know.
I'm
Or
like,
answer questions.
it doesn't make any sense because any normal person would have done that if they're gonna go that far. They would do it to their nanny, not to their friend wants to date. Like if you're gonna go that far, you're gonna do it for every person,
Mm-hmm.
especially one that is gonna be with your son and your husband.
Mm-hmm. In your house, yeah.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
I don't understand the thinking on this at all.
Right.
But I also can't make it make sense.
Mm-hmm. And then Lindsay tells Haley that Lucas is writing all night, finally, after 2 years of writing nothing.
Maybe Lindsay could have said, "Did you do that to the nanny?" And then she should have said, like, "Oh, I don't know, like I realized how crazy that was," or something.
Yeah.
I don't know, something to like make
Mm-hmm.
it make sense
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
of like why she didn't do it for Nanny Carey.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so Lindsay asks Haley, she should be like, as an editor, she's thrilled that he wrote a lot, but as a girlfriend, should she be worried?
Yeah, she's like, "You're talking about Peyton coming back."
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I don't really think that Lindsay's sounding like a jealous girlfriend. I think she's concerned.
Yeah, I think she's being fair. Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't like how they kind of like wrote that of like, because to me, she's not being anyone would suspect that, first of all,
Mm-hmm.
because it's obvious. And secondly, anyone would jump to that of like, does he still have feelings? Does she?
Mm-hmm.
You don't know. And
Mm-hmm.
so you're gonna have those thoughts and questions. So and you're gonna go to someone that you're close to, which she's close to Haley. So I get why she's asking these questions.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't think she's being jealous. I just think she's being concerned with her relationship.
Mm-hmm.
Is someone going to interfere? Something Haley should be worrying about. Instead of Haley sticking her nose in Lucas and Lindsay's relationship, she might want to stick her nose in her own because things are about to happen.
Well, I wouldn't say sticking her nose in because Lindsay came to her asking questions, but yeah.
No, but she was trying to get information, remember, earlier from Lucas.
Oh, yeah, when she was in his office.
Like she's getting to focus on your own relationship.
Yeah, she was just like doing that as a friend to Lindsay, kind of getting in the middle between both of them, which she shouldn't. Yeah.
No, but get your head in your own relationship.
Mm-hmm. But either way, she tells Lindsay that Lucas is very much in love with her, so she shouldn't have to worry. And then Haley asks if she's crazy for hiring a hot nanny, but then
that goes away. Like,
yeah, we kind of go to the next scene with
like it's always a joke about
Yeah.
it, but there's nothing like following up with it of like, yes,
Right.
Haley, did you do this? Like it should have come back of did you get her driver's license? Like something. It should have been easy as coming back, but nothing. It was just that was the comment and that was it.
Yeah. Yeah, because if Haley would have done a background check for Carrie, she probably would have saw more red flags before they came up at the, out of nowhere.
Mm-hmm.
She would have saw them early. And then, then we go back to the house, speaking of Carrie, she's with Jamie. And, they're playing in his room. And, Jamie's being nice and letting her play with his toys. And then she grabs a little basketball and tosses it to Jamie. But he says, his dad doesn't want him to play.
And she says, why not? So he says, he asks her if she can keep a secret. And he goes into the closet and shows her.
Mm-hmm.
So sad.
Yeah. But we don't see it at first because, of course, they got to go back to a different scene with Skills and Lucas walking to the gym.
But you can tell from her face, though.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was something serious and like Yeah. And then so the guys are in the gym practicing their dunks and
Making
so
jokes, like goofing
Mhm.
around.
Yeah.
And then, like, they say that they lost basically all their games and everything, never really won.
Mhm.
So when they switch this up to, well, you're gonna make a free throw, and if you can't, you run. Oh, I don't know. Did Lucas get that idea from, oh, I don't know, Dan? Because Dan did that same thing. Remember, they were being all cocky, and Dan was like, "No, like you are gonna make." Remember, because Nathan, no, it was Lucas that did make the basket, and he had to start running. Then Nathan didn't make the basket and said, "Go run with your little friend." Remember that when he took over for Whitey.
Kind of, yeah.
Yeah. So I remember he made work until Lucas is puking.
Mhm.
But it's like, I remember that same exact thing because Lucas missed it. Nathan missed it. And Dan was just not happy. And I'm like, wow. Now, once again, Lucas is doing the same thing of like, you're going to work and work and work until you make that basket.
Right.
And I'm like, wow, you didn't like when Dan did it to you.
Mhm.
So you're going to do it to these kids. I
Right.
don't know. It's just like everything that happened to him, he's just doing to these kids. But it's never like, I'm so glad they made us work for it.
Mhm.
Because remember last episode when Whitey, or it came back, I like, remember how Whitey made them all kind of earn their spot.
Mhm.
And then Lucas makes them all earn their spot. It's like,
Right.
it's never, I'm so glad they taught me this.
Mhm.
It was just funny because it was like, dang, like none of them can make a basket.
Right. And then at the station, Alice tells Mouth that he's late, and he said it's 1 p.m. And Alice says it was
30
1 p.m.
seconds go.
Yep. So that's another strike. And then, that's when Mouth confronts her, saying why does she hate him so much? And, she tells him that they gave him an opportunity, but it's obvious to her that he thinks that he's above the work and he doesn't want to pay his dues. And he comes in, late, passes around his worthless audition demo. And somehow she's the bitch because she decided that he hasn't earned it yet.
So what then she, then she said that he's fired.
Yeah, after he kisses her, yeah.
Yeah. Mm-mm.
Yeah.
This is why you don't listen to Skills. I'm just saying.
Right. And before that, she was just insulting him one after the other too. And that was guess Mouth's signal to kiss her because of Skills. Yep. But then of course it wasn't because that's how he got fired, and now he knows not to listen to Skills. Hopefully.
Maybe.
At least when it's about women. And then back at the prison with Dan and Nathan, Dan tells Nathan he knows it wasn't easy coming to see him, and it means a lot. And, Nathan says that he didn't show up there for him. He says as long as he can remember, he taught him basketball was the most important thing in the world. So when he lost it, he thought his life was over. Which, that is kind of true. Dan planted that in his head because that's how he saw it too. It was like a never-ending cycle with the dads and the sons like that.
Yes. Yeah. But once Nathan met Haley, remember he said Haley became the most important thing.
Mm-hmm.
What happened to that, Nathan?
I don't know. Something
Remember?
changed that we didn't
Because
see.
think
Yeah.
about it. Then remember when she said, "Are you going to be okay without basketball?" And he said, "As long as you and me and the baby are okay,
Mm-hmm.
that's all." Well, you,
Mm-hmm.
me, and the baby are like, this is what I mean. Like this whole Nathan that we had is gone because it's like that Nathan would have been okay to lose it all.
Mm-hmm.
You remember he was ready to lose it all. And it's like, so you lost it. Well, that Nathan said, I'll be okay as long as it's the three of us. That's gone. Because it should have been that same way of as long as I have Haley and my son, I'm good.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it didn't work out.
Right.
Because he became this one.
Mm-hmm. So Nathan was just going on about how, Dan said this and that about basketball.
Yeah, just
And,
blaming him. Yeah, I didn't like
yeah.
it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so he says that the game nearly destroyed his family and it's not worth it. His family's all he has now. And that's why that's what we talked about before, and I don't like Jamie playing. So That's what Dan tells him, it's just as bad. And then
and how like Nathan's basically not going to come back and visit or anything.
Yeah.
I was like, whatever, Nathan. Like, you love your dad.
Yeah, he says he's letting go of the anger and he's letting go of him. He just had to look him in the eye and tell him that. And he won't be back, yeah.
Whatever. Because Nathan always runs back to Dan. Always.
And then after he walks away, that's when Dan says that he loves him too. And then Lindsay goes to visit Peyton at her new office with a plant. And, she sees the posters that Peyton is hanging up, is impressed, saying that the office is cool.
Yeah, so Lindsay was being nice by saying, like, this is like the coolest office. And I just thought she was being nice when she walked in saying that, because Peyton is never usually good with like starting a conversation. So at least Lindsay came and being like, I thought she was being nice.
Yeah, me too.
Like, and then her bringing that plant or whatever that was. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I get why Peyton would jump to that conclusion. But I just thought she was being nice. Because she never said you better stay away from him. Like, nothing like that. It never came off of like that.
Right. I mean, it was weird that she said that she's here. She didn't say like, I'm here for you. She just said she's here. So it was like a little vague, but it didn't seem like too much of a threat, at least.
No, I didn't really take it as a threat, because all Peyton did was show up to town and Lucas was writing. So I mean, Peyton didn't even have to do much. So it's like, Lindsay, you don't have that power that Peyton has. So
yeah, and then Peyton didn't ask Lucas for help. Lindsay told Lucas to help her. So
exactly, that's why I said last episode she did it to herself. Because she's the one that said help her.
Yeah.
So did it to yourself. But I think maybe she's realizing she messed up.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah.
Just think about it. Now Peyton's here.
And seems pretty permanent. Yeah.
Well, and Lucas, remember, isn't charging rent. So that's even worse, because it's like, why aren't you charging rent?
Right. Because, Peyton's starting out, so you think she'd be struggling. So maybe if she didn't get things picked up right away, then she'd have no choice but to leave. And, then Lindsay wouldn't have to worry anymore. But
and it's not like it's like it was like a contract of, for the first 6 months, like, it's rent free, or once you get a band, then you pay rent. Like, there was nothing of it. It was just, this is for free.
Yeah,
it was
conditions.
Right. And I think it would have been better if there was, for Lindsay, I'm saying, of like, okay, this is like a work kind of relationship of like, where more of like I really care, and I want you to have this. Like, no, that's, especially for your ex. No. So for Lindsay, that's even worse, that there was no payments, there's no contract of she's going to pay, nothing. It was just gifted to her.
Right.
So for Lindsay, not good.
Yeah.
It's right now, it's just like kind of all working out right now for Peyton. Without her realizing it.
Right. And then Lucas walks into the gym to see the whole team running now, because nobody was making free throws.
It was funny because he goes, no one made any. It's like, meh.
And they're saying how they have pressure to turn this season around.
I thought it was funny. I thought it was funny when who was it? Lucas said they'll get better. Or was it Skills?
Yeah, Lucas said that, and Skills
And
says
then
if they don't,
those bitches make a track team. So when he says we'll just start a track team, don't they have a track team?
I don't know. I think he was just saying that because they're running, so that's all they're good at right now.
Yeah.
And then Nathan and Haley, at Nathan and Haley's, Carrie's reading that article about Nathan winning the championship, I believe. And then that's when Nathan walks in and Carrie, asks how he got home, and he says a cab. So Carrie is shocked that he took an hour-long cab from the prison because of how
Yeah.
expensive it was.
Yeah, and she said, "I would have picked you up." No, I'm
Yeah.
sure you
No.
would have.
Yeah, she's still crossing boundaries. Yeah, crossing lines because again, she's not the chauffeur, not his nurse. So
Well then, yeah, and then she goes further by getting now personal, saying
Mhm.
that, she went to Pontiac and she was at the game and she cried for a week.
Yeah,
How involved was she with this Pontiac team?
right. I know.
That she cried for a week.
Mhm.
What?
Yeah, and boosting Nathan up, saying he is a hometown hero and all that just for winning the game.
But I'm confused at why she would cry for a whole week.
I don't know. Maybe trying to make Nathan feel sorry for her, or they can bond more over the game or something like that. I don't know.
Also, I feel like it also now shows you because you got to point out all the red flags. I feel like now it's showing you why she picked that family. Remember when I said
Yeah.
they're kind of famous. Like
Mhm.
they're not famous, but they are.
Mhm.
And here's why. She knows exactly who Nathan is.
Yep.
And why do you think she's there?
Yeah.
She ain't there for Jamie.
Mhm.
Not there for Haley.
Yep.
It's like she's there for one reason. And
Mhm.
there's the red flag. She knows about Nathan.
Mhm.
It wasn't it wasn't it wasn't like she did just read about it and you know, she knows exactly who he is. Come on.
Right.
She said
Mhm.
she went to the school, so she knows exactly the rivalry that there was.
Mhm.
She knows he was on the team. I mean,
Yep.
I'm sure she knew that he had a wife and stuff. She probably has been planting that for so long.
Mhm.
And then I'm sure she heard what happened to him with this accident. So I'm sure she was like, cool, he'll need help.
Mhm. Yeah, so she asks Nathan how it feels to be a hometown hero, and he says he's not that guy anymore. He's nobody's hero. And then that's when she shows, him Jamie's closet, his little wall of Nathan, basically a little podium that Jamie's put Nathan on as his hero, his
Yeah.
basketball hero.
Yeah, and she said,
Yeah.
looks like you're somebody's hero. Yep.
Mhm. Yeah. So that was the secret that Jamie told her earlier, and she already told Nathan within a day.
Yeah. Within that day. She couldn't keep a secret.
Mhm. Yeah, but the drawing was cute because it was him and Nathan playing basketball with, saying it number one, they're the number one team, which was cute.
Yeah. Where is Jamie?
Napping. So they had to be quiet.
Because I was gonna say this is still the same day, so
Yeah. He was
because
he was napping. Yeah.
he just got back. So
Yeah. And then Lucas walks into what will be turned into Clothes Over Bros, his mom's old cafe, and takes a picture of Brooke hanging up something. And he tells her that he promised his mom he'd send her a photo when she finished destroying her cafe. And Brooke says that's not fair. She hated doing it, but she kept the sign or the quote. And Lucas says he'll make sure to mention that in his email. And then he asks Brooke, why does she want to open the shop there in Tree Hill?
she said
And
it's home.
yeah, yeah. And she asks what he thinks of the place.
Yeah, he said it's the perfect way to continue the legacy of Karen's Cafe, which I think so too.
Yeah.
I love that Brooke turned it into her Clothes Over Bros.
Mm-hmm. And then he asks if it's everything she imagines, her own fashion line, as they, stand in front of the quote from the wall. And Brooke says, today it is. Ask her again tomorrow. And then Haley goes to see Peyton in her office. And Payne says, hopefully it's the beginning. And Haley tells her then, she can say she was there when it started. And then she mentions stealing something as a memento. And Payne says if there's nothing stopping her, and then grabs the plant that Lindsay gave her.
Yeah, and she was like, "Oh, it was from Lindsay and Lucas's Lindsay." And then she's like, "Is that her nickname or something?"
Right. As if they know another Lindsay anyhow.
But
Yeah.
also, you can tell here that Peyton does like Lucas
Because
because
she's annoyed. Yeah.
well, yeah, because why would it matter?
Mm-hmm.
Like Brooke is over Lucas, that's why she's good with it all.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, the fact that Peyton's not, it's like,
Right.
that tells you something.
Mm-hmm. And then yeah, so Haley says that was nice of Lindsay to do, give her the bamboo. And then Peyton says, it felt like Lindsay was there to mark her territory. And she had told her, she's here. And Haley says this seems you see this as Lindsay telling Payne that if she needs anything, she's there to help. But Payne explains that Lindsay was there to say she's not going anywhere. Haley says that, it doesn't sound like Lindsay. But even if she was doing that, what difference does it make? It's
Yeah,
like
you're
she
not.
can,
Yeah,
yeah.
you didn't come back for Lucas, right? And she's
Mm-hmm.
no. Well, then don't say anything.
Right. I mean, you could almost see it as Peyton being there for Lucas too, because she could have started a label anywhere, not
Yep.
just Tree Hill. So
Yeah, like I don't know, where's her father?
mm-hmm. Yeah. And Payne did seem to take a second to answer, saying no, she didn't. She came back for herself. And then after a few awkward silent seconds, Haley asks, who's the band that Payne's interested in. And that's when Payne brings Haley to the band. That's in like another large part of Tric where the studio seems to be that wasn't there now, but is.
Well, I thought they were on stage at Trick.
Oh, it's not like they're in a studio of some
No,
kind.
no,
Another
they were
part of
on.
the.
No, they were just on stage and they were just watching them.
Okay. Yeah, just like a whole new stage at least or something that wasn't there before. And then Payne tells Haley that this band is local and unsigned. And they play a song and they just watch them. And then Brooke checks out a house and loves everything about it, including everything inside it. So she tells the owner she wants it.
This is weird.
Yeah.
She's like, oh, if you get out in like 15 minutes, like I'll throw an extra 30,000. I'm like, what?
Yeah.
I'm like, bro, okay, this is definitely TV because you cannot just
Pick somebody out.
pick somebody out, and now it's all yours.
Right.
No, because there has to be, paperwork drawn and signed, and even if you pay cash for it, again, there's still and there is a time frame that the person gets, and you can't just kick them out with the furniture still in there.
Right. And a roast, apparently.
Yeah, she was cooking.
And then she thought maybe Brooke wanted her cat, but then, Brooke tells her to take it.
Yeah, the lady didn't even get the cat stuff. I'm like, again, that's definitely TV because it's like, now I have a house. It's like, what?
Yeah.
And think about it too. Like when you sell a house, you call and make sure that the water is switched over, your electricity is shut off, so that the new person comes in and has to start over.
Yeah, they have to be someone has to check it out to make sure everything's working.
Well, if she's paying cash, she doesn't.
No.
And she probably Brooke has enough money. I'm sure she did pay cash. Because otherwise she would have had to get a loan, which would have been had to have been an inspection, and it would have taken at least a month. So there's no way that she would have done this in an hour.
And then Haley goes to see.
Also, did you notice really the lady left and Brooke never signed one paper?
Right. Yeah. Nope. Nothing.
I feel like that could have been the thing of like Brooke is signing and then we switch over. Like, I don't know. We didn't really need to see the lady leaving because we heard she's leaving.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know if they just want to do like this little bit for comedy or something. Yeah.
Yeah. But I'm like, that is so not realistic.
And then Haley goes to see Quentin at the river court. So it seems like this has to be the spot for like all the guys that play basketball or like basketball, but until then, like, this is now, does that make sense? Like, because I could see like middle school boys here even, but it
Yeah.
just kind of seems like this is Quentin's new place all of a sudden, you know? I don't know if that makes sense or if I'm overthinking it, but
No, I get it. Cause like in a town, if there's like an area, like a park or something that has
mm-hmm.
like all the kids will go there.
Mm-hmm.
Cause it is, they always say a small town.
Mm-hmm.
So I can see where if there's like one area that's like has a basketball court that, because again, most people don't have a basketball court at
Mm-hmm.
home. So if you can go find one in your neighborhood,
Mm-hmm.
that's where you should go. But
Yeah.
now that you brought it up of how they're like somewhat 4 or 5 years apart,
Mm-hmm.
if they were always on the river court
Mm-hmm.
after school, wouldn't they have run into Quentin
Yeah, so I'm saying, like, I can
as a
imagine, like,
kid?
even middle school boys being there.
Yeah, and isn't it always weird how it's always just them?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, like,
And
they never crisscross with anybody else except for Nathan and Lucas, but that was it, and they, at the same school. The only person they really crisscrossed with was Junk. We don't know how they met him, but yeah,
but yeah,
exactly.
it's never like we have to wait until these kids are done playing
Hmm.
or these high school kids are done playing. Like
Yeah.
it's never like it's as if it's just theirs and there's no other kids. It's not like we're here now, you gotta leave.
Mm-hmm.
There's none of that.
Yeah, so it's funny how Quentin's like telling Haley, like, I never thought you would, ever be here, like, know this place. And she's like, I've been here more than you would ever know. So, yeah.
Yeah, yeah, it is weird because I'm sure Quentin probably did go there.
Mm-hmm.
That would have been funny if he would have ran into him.
Right. Yeah, so she tells him, she wants him to go back to school, and he says there's nothing there for him. Like, if it's not basketball, then there's no point. And she's like correcting his grammar, which kind of makes a callback to when she
Nathan.
was doing that with Nathan. Yeah. So that's why she like was interested in Quentin, because she sees a lot of Nathan in him.
Well, so did Lucas.
Yeah.
Um, well, so then how she was talking about graduating and all of this and how it does matter and all of this. And then did you hear him though? Because he said, or maybe you just got hot for me, Mrs. James Scott. Like
Mm-hmm.
again, he's turning it back to that instead of her actually just caring about him.
Mm-hmm. Like, he never takes things seriously. Yeah.
No, and he always says to turn it into a sexual thing instead of just
Mhm.
maybe somebody does care about you.
Yeah, maybe he thinks that if he makes her uncomfortable, that make her shut up about, his schooling and everything.
Yeah. But I do agree with Lucas. You can't fix everyone.
Mm-hmm. You can try, but yeah, that's all you can do.
Like he has to want it for himself. Like Nathan got to a point where Nathan wanted it.
Mm-hmm.
That's why Nathan was okay to listen to Haley and everything. But you have to want it. You have to want to learn. You have to want to take the next step. You can't be forced.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and then we go to Peyton meeting the leader of the band. Now, until I listened to Drama Queens, I didn't realize who this guy was.
Yeah, Britney Spears' ex.
Husband. Yeah, I had no idea that was him.
You
Until I
didn't?
listened. Nope, until I listened to the Drama Queens episode recently for this.
Hmm.
Because
Yeah.
I didn't really know who he was before Britney Spears, and I didn't, follow anything about him afterward.
I'm gonna be honest, me either. I think everybody knew who Brittany was, but
Mm-hmm.
yeah,
Yeah,
I didn't either.
yeah. I mean, it made me impressed that he was a good actor, because I don't remember what he did back then. So was he an actor, or what did he even do? I don't even know.
I was a kid.
Yeah. Yeah, we both were. Yeah, I don't know. Um, yeah, because I feel like he's definitely not doing anything now these days. But because it wasn't he married to? No, this was afterward. He was married to Brittany, I think. Or no, yeah, or maybe he was again. I don't know. I don't know. Anybody can tell us, but
No, this was this around the time that Brittany went through everything?
Yeah, so I'm thinking that they were like already divorced or getting divorced about this time, maybe.
Yes, because when she was going through it, wasn't she going through it because she was going through a divorce?
Part
And
of
it
it,
made
but
it
there's a lot going on.
well, yeah, I'm saying, like, personally for her, I think it was she was either getting divorced or got divorced, and he
Mhm.
was trying to take the kids, was it?
Mhm.
And so it was
Yeah.
making it stressful for her
Mhm.
because she just had a baby, like, because the kids were very
Mhm.
little.
Yeah.
And then with work, and it was just, like, nonstop pressure.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I think they were divorced.
Mhm. Yeah, so I know Hillary talked about it for a second, but like it just seemed to me random that he would get a guest spot on this show, but
Which, I'm not gonna lie, does it mean, like, they sided with Kevin over Brittany?
maybe. And with who the creator is, I wouldn't be surprised.
Because you couldn't get any other person in Hollywood.
And I guess not.
You had to
No.
get Brittany's ex.
I mean, I think it would have been funny if they brought Chris Keller back and wanted to sign with Peyton, and she's like, no, that would have been funny to do. But yeah,
Yeah. Oh, no, he got his own record, remember?
well, I mean, he could have switched over maybe if he wanted to just be in Tree Hill with everybody.
But I just
But
thought but I just yeah, now I'm just curious, like,
mhm,
was it their way of saying we're siding with Kevin
maybe, yeah.
over
But
Brittany?
yeah, obviously this is just a way to introduce Mia. But yeah, so
Well, I'm just saying, because they could have had any jerk come on and
mhm,
do that. Why did it
yeah,
happen? And it was also, again, at the time that it was going on with Brittany.
mhm,
So, and they had a nasty custody battle.
mhm,
So, yeah, I it's just because like because back then nobody knew the true things, like we all heard later on,
mhm,
a decade later, and to just pick and choose who you're siding with without knowing the true things.
mhm,
Because they could have think about the show could have got a lot of backlash. Like if it was airing now
mhm.
to have him on.
Right.
Because we know now what happened to Brittany, it could have
Mhm.
been worse for the show actually if it had aired now.
Yeah, because you think a network or brand or somebody would be on top of who they're hiring for their, whatever shows or commercials or something,
Yeah,
that they
like
would know better.
like you have who?
Yeah, but I've seen lately that they're not that smart,
No.
even today, with that decision. But
Well, and
yeah, so
I feel like too, the network, sometimes I feel like if it's a popular or if it's somebody that they like as a creator, I feel like they just let them do what they please. I feel like
mhm,
sometimes. Because think about it, do you think that a network is gonna tell Shonda Rhimes what to do?
right.
No.
Mhm,
And you know, I feel like some creators may get away with things and maybe they liked him.
right.
So he got away with more things than another creator would have
Mhm,
too.
yeah.
Because I know a lot of shows always talk about how like the networks have a lot of control of who gets hired. Well, maybe he had more control over it than the network did.
Mhm,
Plus, it was a CW show, so maybe they weren't really concerned.
right. Well, I mean, was it called CW by this point, or was it still WB? I can't remember, but yeah, either way.
CW.
Oh, okay.
That's why the show aired in January because they had that whole writer's strike.
Oh, okay. Right.
Because I
And
think it didn't or was it the next year? I thought it was this year. That's why it started so late.
yeah, no, I believe Hillary or somebody mentioned that too.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's correct. Yeah. Yeah, so his name is Jason, and at first he doesn't want to hear out Peyton about, signing with her. And but it was fair to ask, what could she, you know, offer them, and especially after she said that she never had, signed anybody before. So I think that was fair on, on his part when he was asking. Because yeah, she does have experience working at the label, but she was the assistant to the assistant. She didn't mention that, of course, but it's not the best experience you would want.
She
When it comes to
wasn't.
someone with the label.
She wasn't a producer on the label.
Yeah, she was
working, in the
Yeah.
room with the artist. She was getting them lunch.
Yeah, or like in the background. Yeah. So the small man of them all. Yeah.
And she never did a meeting. Remember?
Yeah.
She doesn't know how to write up a contract. Does she have a lawyer for that?
Right.
Because think about labels, I'm sure have lawyers that write up the contracts.
Yep, they do. Yeah.
So she has nothing. Do you know what I also thought was weird too? Was when she tells him, I can get you in a studio tomorrow.
Like, yeah, how?
What studio? Because first of all, you have to if there is a studio, which there clearly is because Chris Keller was in there, you have to rent it out
Yeah,
for
you have to book
whatever
it. Yeah.
time. Yeah. So I'm sure it might be booked. So how can you promise somebody you can go tomorrow?
Right.
Because I know eventually she makes the recording studio in there, but it's not there.
Right.
So how can you promise someone you can start recording tomorrow?
Yeah, I don't know.
That makes no sense to me. I'm like, what are you
Unless she checked ahead of time, like before talking with Jason, maybe. I don't know. She saw a slot open, but yeah.
That would have been the only thing that made sense, is if she knew that she could book them. But also, if you do book a spot, you'd have to have money, which Peyton does not have money for. So I also don't know how she would book anything. Also, how is she going to get equipment for the studio, her own studio, if she has no money?
Right.
That's my questions. Because is Lucas also funding this? Because it takes money than just getting a spot for your office. You have to actually have money for the things. So Lucas did part of the part, but is Brooke going to give money? Is Lucas giving money to actually set her up?
Right.
So that she can start making money and pay them all back?
Yeah, so that's when, she says she hasn't signed anybody else yet. That's when he's like, out. So he leaves and she throws away Lindsay's lucky bamboo.
Well, because I think he's probably thinking too, like, if I sign with you, I might get nowhere. But if I just keep playing at clubs or something, someone else will notice me. And then I'm not in contract with you, so I can go to them.
Right.
Which makes sense.
So then Peyton goes over to actually see Lindsay now. Just to ask why she gave her the bamboo, and Lindsay, starts to explain, but Payne's like, I think this is what you did, marking your territory, and she gets it, but she's not after Lucas. And Lindsay's like, I didn't think you were, but now she definitely is going to be. And, Payne asks, what does she want, because people aren't that nice, but actually they are, they can be, And then that's when Lindsay goes and say that, basically somebody else did that for her when her editing job took off. So she saw it as like a symbol that she finally made it. So she's trying to give that to her.
Which is nice.
But good to know she's not after Lucas, and then tells her good luck and shows her the door by opening it for her, and standing there until she walks out. And then, Peyton did wrongfully attack her, assume that that's what she did,
Yep.
And then, Brooke shows her again later that she was definitely wrong because she still doesn't believe it. But back at the gym at the school, Skills tells and shows the team, doing free throws, saying, guess they got tired of running. He shows Lucas this, and Lucas says, or they got tired of losing. And, they tell each other, nice work, coach. And then at Haley and Nathan's house, Carrie watches Nathan exercise for like a good second before she starts talking to him. Well, we know why, definitely. But he, for some reason, didn't even notice her there.
But these two have way too much time together. Like, this is what I'm saying. Like, what is she doing? Like, what is her job?
Right.
I needed to know what her job description is because hanging out with the husband isn't one of them. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah. And then, Carrie says no pain, no gain, even though that's a common phrase I've heard before. But Nathan says, she sounds like his dad. And that's when she says that she used to be a personal trainer. So she's full of motivational catchphrases. So,
wow, she's a lot of things.
And she's about their age too. And she's already done all these different jobs, it seems like.
Yeah, that's a red flag.
And then she brings up Nathan visiting his dad yesterday, and he said he'd rather not talk about it, which, of course, like, why would he talk to her about that?
Well, then she says, does Haley know you went to go see him? It's like,
yeah, again, in his business. Yeah.
Yeah, again, boundaries, lady.
Yeah. And,
because I just wish Nathan would have been like, none of your business.
yeah, because he just says that she doesn't know, and he likes to keep it that way. So now that's a secret, between them, that Haley doesn't know about. So that's already when
Bad.
when the ball starts rolling there. I think that's when this really starts, when there's secrets going about them like this, just little ones, but still.
Well,
bad.
And I feel like it's like the 10th red flag by now from her.
And then Carrie's like, well, if she asks me, I'm not gonna lie. So, like, trying to act like she's on Haley's side when we know she's not. And then, Nathan tells Carrie that it's good that she's there because he's been a jackass for the last few months and Haley deserves better.
Oh, he's finally realizing that?
Yeah. And his behavior's been hard on her. And Carrie tells him if he wants to do something for, Haley, he might want to try investing in a razor.
That might have been the only thing she had right. The only thing I agree with her on.
Yeah. And then Peyton walks into Tric. I don't know. I feel like they should have. It's technically not Tric. I don't know why they're calling it Tric. That's what I'm doing, but it just doesn't seem right to be calling it that one. It hasn't seemed to be open in years, but yeah. And then she tells the guy from the band, or Jason, that maybe she doesn't have any other bands.
Yeah, but you don't, like, when Toys R Us was closed and you would explain like Toys R Us, you never would say it's Toys R Us. You just said an empty building.
Yeah, I don't know, because it's just like it's like Payne's using it again, but just she hasn't named her label yet, so it just feels like an in between, business. Like, what is it at this point, if not Tric or her label yet? Exactly.
But didn't Tric, weren't they? They met up last time at Tric, last episode. So Tric is open. It's just, that's why I said I think it's like every other weekend or something.
Yeah, it just seems like it's a whole different building when Payne's doing her label stuff. I don't know why. It just looks different to me. Maybe because it's empty. I don't know, but yeah. So she goes on to tell Jason, like, she has something, her label has something the others don't, and she has experience more than he thinks. And the other thing is that none of the labels have an interest in them like she does. So she, that's what she says about the recording studio. So if it is about music, they might want to reconsider. And then Mouth is about to leave the station after being fired, but then walks up to Alice to say something. And Alice describes Mouth as a bug that can't be squashed. And Mouth tells her that, she never gave him a chance. She hated him from the start by how he looks. And it's always about how people look. Like her, she dresses uptight, hiding her hot body behind her cold personality. But at the end of the day, she knows she has it, and, she can hire any hot anchor and hang out with her hot friends and be hot, but, she'll never know what she's missing.
Then she kisses him?
Yeah, because it's like the opposite. Like, before, she was, bringing him down with insults while he's, like, building her up with compliments. And, yeah, so I guess from their point of view, that was the sign to kiss the person, I guess, yeah.
Yeah, I did not like that at all.
Yeah, even though it's still, I mean, he's fired, so technically she wasn't in the wrong, but it seems like he was, I don't know. I mean, either way, it's still weird.
Yeah.
And then, then they just keep kissing, basically. And then Haley gets home, sitting in her car for a moment, because she doesn't want to go in right away because she's just so stressed with her home life.
And then there's Nanny Carrie.
Yep, right on cue.
Yeah.
And, she's like trying to be nice with Haley, like, been a tough day. And she, Haley's basically venting.
Yeah. Then she
Yeah.
said that there's somebody that wants to see you. And she thinks it's Jamie, but it's Nathan.
Mm-hmm. Yep. So Nathan and Jamie are, all dressed up nice for dinner and everything's set at the table.
Yeah. So when she comes in, she's shocked and she's like, "What is this?" And he said, it's a new beginning.
Mm-hmm. And, of how it's going to be from now on. And he knows it's going to take him a lot more than dinner. And then he stands up and says he figures it's a start. And Haley tells Nathan, she missed him, like this, version of him that she knew before the accident. And then, Haley joins him at the table and she asks Nathan how was his day. And he says, enough about him. How was her day?
Finally.
Yeah. And Jamie even asks too, which was cute. And she says her day just got a bit better, a lot better. So then Peyton goes to see Brooke at Clothes Over Bro's new, the new place. And she tells her it looks great. And if she can't sign any bands soon, maybe she could work there. And Brooke says, she's not bitchy enough. And Peyton says maybe, she ask Lindsay because, she was pretty bad to her. And Payne says she felt like Lindsay was marking her territory and just called her out on it. And she thinks she's after Lucas. And Brooks, asks if Lindsay said that and Payne said she didn't have to. It was obvious. And she showed up with this bad luck bamboo thing and has a story about how it was a symbol of her dream. And Payne goes on to say that she's just not sure it was just a guilt trip her. And Brooke tries to tell Payne that she's wrong about Lindsay and the plant, but Payne keeps going on about Lindsay, saying to her, I just want you to know she's here or I'm here. And she says, what is that? And tells Brooke it's like her opening her own store. And did Lindsay bring her the bamboo? And just then Brooke pulls out the exact same bamboo from behind the counter and sets it in front of Payne. And then Payne admits that she was a bitch. And Brooke says, the bright side, she would hire her for her store in a second.
Yeah, that was good that Brooke pulled it out.
Yeah.
To make it look like Lindsay cares about everybody.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And that's when Brooke takes her hand to take her somewhere to show her something. But then we go back to Haley venting about work to Nathan over wine, and they're in the living room now after dinner. And, Nathan can't believe that she told her class, like she would fail them if they walked out, and he calls her the mean teacher, but it's kind of hot. And just then Jamie comes walking up, probably because he had his parents actually getting along for once, having a pleasant conversation. And Nathan tells him since it's a super occasion, super special occasion, they should stay up a little bit later unless he's too tired. But Jamie immediately, says he's not.
I liked when he climbed into Haley's lap, and then I liked when Nathan was like, "Oh, you want to play some ball?" And it was so cute because he's pointing at Haley, but it's like, of course Haley's gonna let him. I mean, it was Nathan that was against it,
right?
And Haley, of course, wants him to play with his father. I mean, that's been her dream. And then it was so cute because they're just out there playing. Like finally, Nathan, is starting to be a good father to Jamie, and is starting to care for him. Right. We really haven't seen it.
Not since the go-kart moment.
Yeah, and that was at the very end.
And then Brooke brings Peyton to the new house that she just brought and says surprise. And Peyton thinks that she's just renting the house at first, and then that's when Brooke says she bought it. And and she's glad that Peyton likes it because she has a room there and shows her it. So they're just like freaking out excited together. And then Dan is mopping at the prison when a guard hands him mail. It's a picture of Jamie. So the drama queen said that maybe Carrie sent this picture to Dan, but I don't think that would. I mean, could she? I don't know.
No, he said no. He said that your son left this for you.
Oh, I thought he didn't really tell me. I thought he said like somebody.
No, he said, he said your son left this for you earlier. I think when Nathan left, he left it there.
Oh, okay.
Because remember, Dan wanted a picture of him. But no, because the guard would have said a woman left it, but he said your son left it, which would mean because they know who brings mail in.
Mhm.
No, I heard it. And
Yeah.
yeah, he said your son.
I guess then me and the drama queens missed it, I guess. And then Nathan and Jamie are playing ball outside. Haley's watching them on the patio. And then the guy or Jason from the band goes to see Peyton, and he says they're going to give her a chance, but to not let them down. And then Payne takes the bamboo that Lindsay gave her out of the trash and puts it on her desk. And then Lucas is writing at home when Lindsay walks into his room to tell him that she's been putting on a brave face for weeks now, but he has these two gorgeous ex-girlfriends back in town, and she's trying hard to be okay with it. But she has to ask and to promise she won't ask again afterward. She should be worried about them. And he gets up from his desk and, tells her that he loves her and that, that's never going to change and she has nothing to worry about. But of course, we know that's definitely going to change. And then the next morning, Brooke and Payne are sitting on the balcony of the new house. That's a really nice view, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
Seemed like we never saw this part of Tree Hill before. And then Payne says to Brooke, what if Lucas's Lindsay gave her the lucky bamboo because she was marking her territory with her too.
I like when Brooke said, just let it go.
Yeah. And Payne says, she's calling her Lucas's Lindsay now too. And that's, when they look at the view and said, they have the view, but she just worries she's keeping Brooke from her life, Yeah.
I liked when Brooke said, like, in New York, she had everything. She wanted money, celebrity success.
Mm-hmm.
But she didn't, like what she didn't have was sunrise with her best friend. I like that.
Mm-hmm.
And then that's when Victoria comes in.
Yep, and ruins it.
Yep. How did you like though when she was like, when she tells Brooke it's time to get back to work, and then she told Peyton, she was like, "Hi, Peyton." Like, ooh, like I was like, dang, she hates Peyton.
Yeah, even though Payne's been like Brooke's only friend and someone who actually cares about her, unlike her only
family that took her in.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because she even lived with Payne for a bit. Yeah, and then apparently Victoria only found her because Brooke used like the company card or something like that, so the address was on there.
Yeah.
Which I thought that was a little bit of a mistake on Brooke's part, at least being found. I mean, she could do what she wants with the money, but like if she didn't want to be found, then that wasn't very smart. But basically Victoria tells her she has to spend the next flight back to New York, and they go back and forth, and that's when it's finally revealed that Victoria is Brooke's mother, So they waited until this episode to do so, like making it a big surprise, I guess. And then it did seem like Brooke kind of like regretted like fighting back with Victoria in that moment too, like remorse for it.
Yeah.
But then Victoria still leaves the plane ticket with Brooke and says she'll stay on the plane, her beautiful daughter, and then says goodbye to Peyton with like that hard T in her name.
Yeah, I said it was rude, like definitely a terrible goodbye.
Yeah. And then Peyton tells Brooke that her mom's still a bitch and asks what she's gonna do, and Brooke just shrugs her shoulders. So that was it.
So for me, the high was seeing Brooke and Brooke and Peyton's friendship and Brooke buying the house and stuff. I liked all that. The low, Mouse interaction with his boss and Nanny, Carrie, and Nathan, because it all went too far.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, my low was seeing Carrie cross a lot of boundaries and lines, and at least the audience knows, like we know that her intentions aren't pure, like unlike Haley. And she's so focused on everything else, she's not paying attention to Carrie and what's going on with that part of her life. But I did like how Nathan was finally, owning up to being a good husband and father again to Haley and Jamie and finally doing something about it. And, like he said that, because like it's obvious that Carrie probably did help him with dinner, but at least he, was there at the table and probably helped set it up and look presentable and everything. and actually cared about Haley. And like he's like, not about me, my day, like what happened with you, like, focusing on her as it should be. And yeah, I mean, it was nice to see Peyton and Brooke too together like this, because this is how it should have been from the beginning instead of their fights. But yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And writing?
I would rate this at 8. I liked it.
Yeah, me too, an 8.
For me, the best I'm gonna go with Brooke because it gave Peyton she gave Peyton somewhere to stay. And she also was helping her with the whole Lindsay's not a bitch thing.
Mm-hmm.
And the worst to me was what's his face? Mouth's boss.
Alice?
His
Boss. Alice, yeah.
Yeah, because she's so rude and she kept crossing the line of being rude to him like that. And then, yeah, she ends up making out with him.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so my best was Haley just because she was trying to, help Quinnen, even though he made those remarks to her over and over again. Like she could have easily just, walked away, but she was still trying with him. And probably teachers before her were giving up on him too. So that's why he didn't really see school as important either. And then the worst was Victoria, just because, Brooke was finally doing something good without her input, and everything was going well until she showed up and kind of burst that bubble with her and Peyton and them living together there in Tree Hill with everything and their businesses.
Oh, sorry. Who was your best and worst? Or who was your? Oh, yeah, Haley and then Victoria.
Yeah.
And what's next episode?
Episode 4 is All Right, Ma, I'm Only Bleeding.
Yeah. Weird title. Okay.
Yeah, so sounds serious, but somebody's acting like it's not serious.
All right. Thanks for listening.
Yep, and we'll see you next time.
Bye.
Bye. Thanks for listening to this episode of Duo Chat. If you want to chime in with your opinion about the episode and the show we discussed, you can email us at duochatpodcast@gmail.com. And to keep up with updates about the podcast, you can follow us on Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, and subscribe to our channel on YouTube at Duo Chat Podcast. And give us a review wherever you listen to podcasts. We would appreciate it.